and Podcast Thursday. Finally, I got a computer, and I want to thank the one person who made this possible, Aunt Helga, for her true kindness and wise understanding of life. Now we can proceed a little tiny bit closer to professionally like we were doing before the disaster happened. In episode 80, the proverbial gun may be smokeless, but as the girls go over the impossibility of convicting this man who abused them as younger teenagers only a few years earlier. The injustice of these teens not being able to have a jury truly of their peer group, and as Giselle hammers home to Josh that he's incarcerated because of a childhood insecurity of not being okay to just be like everyone else. While Joey sees the bombing of Iran as an inevitable pain everyone has to go through as gas prices rise through the roof, and Giselle tells him to stop being so over the top, refusing to let him stop Samantha from going to her trial, and in the final scene, Samantha tells Amanda she doesn't want to have sex with her and they ponder the reasons why. Perhaps we can say that proverbially, like the vape that's so hardly mentioned here that it's not, there's no smoke, but there's definitely fire. And now, without further or any ado, let's tune into asterisk 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 Chrysalis, The Family Adventure, episode 80, The Smokeless Gun Fade in Int. The house, Samantha's room, night. Kate Mala is there with her. Kamala, you have to go for a deferment. Samantha, are we talking about the case? Kamala, no, I meant your schoolwork. Otherwise we can't get this operation in gear. Samantha, now you must be talking about the court. Kamala, yeah. They pore over the paperwork. Kamala, we've got the DNA from the police sticks. But that's a really low probability after all these years. Samantha, but we could still have it tested for DNA. Kamala, if they find anything, yeah. But I'm thinking it's the body cam that's our smoking gun, shutting off at precisely the moment there were no observers other than ourselves. Samantha, that's perfect. That has to convict him. You heard what our attorney said. Kamala, the people's attorney. The problem is it's too much of a smoking gun. Samantha, I don't get it. Kamala, alright, stay with me here. They think we're making this up to satisfy a grudge we have against police. Samantha, which we do. Kamala, no we don't. That's what they want from us so they can say we planted the evidence and therefore it never happened like we're contending it did. Samantha, I don't get you. Kamala, alright, listen to me. There's clearly no evidence whatsoever of the rape. If we could find it on the stick, that would be slam dunk. But the body cam shutting off doesn't prove anything. It just proved there's no evidence. We don't have any proof that Braddock shut it off because it doesn't show him shutting it off. Now here's the other possibility, since we don't know, evidentially, how it shut off. They contend we made this charge up because we had a beef with Braddock and wanted to get back at him. So they'll say we planted the smoking gun deliberately so it would look like he shut the cam off. Samantha, I don't know, you're getting me really confused. I think you're overthinking this. Pause. Kamala, maybe you're right. I'm just thinking of everything that was said. Our man can't get any answer why the cam shut down precisely at that moment, which is our strongest evidence, but you heard what the lawyer said. Without solid evidence of the rape or even assault, we still got nothing. Samantha, well, at least we'll fight the good fight until the end. We just gotta convince the jury we're telling the truth. Do you think we didn't do that? Kamala, I don't know. In today's world, the weight always lies with older people. They're the same age as Braddock. Teenagers just aren't trusted. Samantha, yeah, but wait a minute. Why don't we get a teenage jury? Kamala Oak, they'll never go for that. They think having blacks and women on the jury is enough of a concession. Teenagers can't be trusted in their minds. Samantha, then you know what? We got to insist. We got to tell that judge just what you said and how having a jury made up of men and women in their 30s and 40s is unfair. Kamala, well, here's the other problem. Her phone rings. Kamala, the defense has to approve all our jurors. Answers phone, hello? Samantha, we should still talk to the judge. Kamala, on phone. Yeah. We're going over the trial and all the things that could go wrong. Amanda, V. Oh, filtered, where are you guys? Kamala at Samantha's. Samantha, hi baby. Amanda, V. Oh, filtered, hey. So you got a case? Samantha, if we can get younger people like us on the jury who'll believe us. Amanda, V. Oh, filtered, why wouldn't anybody believe you? Samantha, cause adults don't trust teenagers. Kamala, that's why they say a jury of your peers. Amanda, V. Oh, filtered, I'll be on your jury. Kamala, we got a better part for you. A witness. Amanda, V. Oh, filtered, but I wasn't there. Kamala, doesn't matter. It's called a character witness. You can attest to our character and say how we'd never make something like this up. Samantha, hey, did you see Josh today? Amanda, V. Oh, filtered, right after school. Samantha, how is he? Where are you now? Amanda, V. Oh, filtered, he's holding up. I'm glad I was able to protect him even though I had no idea I was protecting him. Samantha, to K. Mala, she knows someone on the inside. Amanda, V. Oh, filtered, yeah, in a manner of speaking. It's like weird. Visiting him is like both the greatest pleasure, the highlight of our lives, and at the same time the greatest torture. The guard won't even let us kiss. Samantha, you think you'll ever get tired of visiting him and stop going? I wish I could even go once. Amanda, V. Oh, filtered. Oh, I'll never stop going. Don't worry, honey. I know how much my visit means to him. Plus to me too. I can't let my man down. I think I love him more now than I ever did. Samantha, bad timing. Wow, that surprises me. Kamala, yeah, that's tough when you realize how much you love somebody only when they're gone. Samantha, oh really? Please don't let that happen to us. Kamala, well, don't do something that's gonna get you into jail. Sorry, Amanda. Samantha, do you love me more than you ever did? Kamala, yeah, I guess so. Samantha, you guess so? Kamala, well, you kind of put me on the spot. I mean, if I say I love you more, you'll say how come you didn't love me more before. And if I say I love you less, well, that's pretty obvious. Amanda, V. Oh, filtered, hey guys. I didn't mean to start anything. Just always say more. That way you'll be safe. Kamala, what if we don't mean it? Samantha, what? Kamala, I didn't mean it that way. Samantha, quit while you're ahead. Amanda, V. Oh, filtered, hey guys. Calm down. I love you both. It's complicated. I never. It's easy to say you love someone when you suddenly find you can't be with them. But day to day, even though it's hard to remember now, we argued. We didn't make it like every moment had to be magic or we were gonna let loose on them. Samantha, she's got a point, honey. I'm sorry for putting pressure on you. I love you. And that's what matters. And you love me. You do. Kamala, of course I do. I guess it's a day-to-day thing. As long as we don't forget to tell each other each day. I mean, I'm not really the romantic type. Samantha, I know. You're so by the book, very formal. I guess shy a little. But you're great in bed. Kamala, oh, wow, thanks. Good to hear that. Samantha, and you're really intelligent. Kamala, that I get a lot. Samantha, I love your passion for the truth and justice. But, Amanda, I really admire, and also love, how devoted you feel to Josh. That really makes me feel good because he matters to me. Amanda, V. Oh, filtered, it's the truth. That's how I really feel about him. That's how you know your love is real. We may not have anything, but I have. Samantha, oh, you definitely have something. Amanda, V. Oh, filtered, but I'm glad I have at least one thing I can give him to make his day a little better. Samantha, yeah, I can definitely see that. He's depending on you, honey. Don't let him down. Amanda v. Oh, filtered, I promise I never will. Kamala, that's so rare in today's world. Samantha, yeah, you gotta visit him for me too. Give him an extra kiss and say it's from Samantha. Amanda v. Oh, filtered, we're not allowed to kiss. It's part of his sentence. But the moment he gets out, he's getting showered. It's gonna be a lightning and thunderstorm, so don't be surprised if you hear fireworks. They all laugh. The jail, visiting area night. Giselle is visiting Josh. Josh, how's everybody at home? Giselle, Joey's Joey, as you know. Where's his beer? And where's his dinner? Well, now he's gotta wait or get it himself. And Samantha had her trial. We're all gonna get called in as witnesses. I don't know how much good we can do, but I'm so glad it's not her on trial. Josh, oh, so I guess Dad's gonna say terrible things about me at my trial. Did I tell you it was in 2 weeks? On the 15th? Giselle, that's really close. It's not even 2 weeks. I just can't go 2 days in a row to testify at both your trials. Josh, it's okay, Ma. I'm gonna plead guilty. There's too much damning evidence. Giselle, and you're still willing to give that girl a pass even though going to the concert was what got you in here. Josh, that's not how Walensky sees it. Giselle, clearly disappointed, of course not. He's a man. And when it comes to men, they all want to give the girl a free pass. Josh, well, look at the facts. I got into trouble for hacking. Giselle, all girl related. Josh, well, you got me there. But it's still my fault because it's my male hormones that made me commit all those crimes. Giselle, it's your insecurity that made you do that. Most boys just get by like everybody else. But you couldn't accept being normal. You had to get a jump on everyone. And here you are, having jumped too far. It's like you jumped out a window. What am I talking about? You did jump out a window, many times, even climbed back up with a girl, a few of those. And what happened? Where are you now? You can't outjump the rest of the world. There's a right way and a wrong way. You live in a world with people. They don't like to see people getting a free pass to anything when they had to pay for it. The house. Living room. Night. Joey's tiredly turning off the TV and starting to head upstairs when Giselle enters. Joey, prepare for severe austerity. Giselle, what do you mean prepare for? Where you been? Joey, well, prepare for it to be even worse. Giselle, is it work? Or did you hear something in the news? Joey, well, it's all over the news. You'd have to be blind and dumb to miss it. We finally sent all those illegals back, and now we got Iran messing with us and threatening to blow up the world. So prices are going back up, and then people don't want to drive, so they won't come to the shop. But don't worry, we got our man, Trump. Who'll fix those Iranians and open back up the Strait of Hormuz, and then gas prices will be lower than they've ever been, and finally we'll be in paradise. Giselle, I hope you're right. Joey, can you imagine a Democrat accomplishing all that, with both the illegals and this illegal regime in Iran? Giselle, no, I can't imagine anyone doing that. Joey, so naturally. It's gonna be rough for a while, but this is the messed up world we live in that we got handed to us. It's gonna be rough for a while, but that's the only way. Maybe having one less kid to feed is a blessing, though I hate. Giselle, we are feeding him. Through our tax dollars. Along with all the others in the prison population. Joey, well, that's definitely not our president, taxing us to feed prisoners. It's those bleeding heart progressives again taking our money to feed no good derelicts. Giselle, if we're not feeding them, we're killing them. Joey, good. The less people, the better. Giselle, you're talking about your son, I hope you know. Joey, well, if that's what it takes for him to shape up. Giselle, have you lost your mind? He continues up the stairs. Joey, well, forget it if you're gonna talk like that. He looks really deflated and defeated. Giselle, that's okay. He'll rise from the dead and have a second coming. Pause, I don't even believe that. Joey continues his funeral march up the stairs. Giselle sits down on one of the chairs facing the TV. and flicks it on, resigned, deflated feeling. Int. The house, upstairs hallway. Night as Joey approaches the landing. Samantha opens the door of her room and peeks out. Samantha, hi Dad. Joey, putting hand up, no, I'm not going to the court. Samantha, it's alright, Dad, you don't have to. Joey, even though I'd make your best witness. Or most truthful witness. Samantha, that's okay. To the eyes of the world, you'll seem prejudiced in my favor, so the jury would discount your testimony. Joey, well, we got more important things coming down the pike, so things are gonna be getting a lot worse. And we're all gonna have to be making sacrifices. This is a bad time to be hauling it all the way on a bus to Los Angeles. Samantha, what? Oh my God, what are you saying? Joey, that you might have to give up your crusade for justice because there's a very dangerous enemy going full speed to build a bomb that can wipe out the country you and I live in. Nobody's gonna die if you let your case go. I can't afford to put you on a bus, and that's that. Kamala comes out of Samantha's room. Samantha is in tears. Kamala, wait a minute. I heard what you said, so let me ask you straight. Why are we fighting Iran if assault against and abuse of children is totally permissible in this country? Isn't the lack of freedom and the abuse of its people the very reason we're going in there? To liberate the people? Joey, you shouldn't even be here. Go home. K. Mala, is that direct from the Ayatollah? Joey, hey, don't get fresh. These are really bad men. Samantha, really upset, I'm not giving in to you anymore. How about that? This really bad police officer destroyed your daughter. If you want vengeance on anyone, he should be the one you should get really mad at. I'm going, and if you try to stop me, I'm gonna do exactly what I did last time, and if you try to stop me from going, I'll call the police and show you the good side of the police. So don't push me. Joey, hey, don't you dare ever talk fresh to me like that. Giselle, reaching stairs top. I can't even chill with TV without hearing you two going at it like babies having a fight. Joey, so you're gonna go through our savings account and take all our money for retirement. Giselle, getting more excited. I can't believe you. Your father, if you can remember, just died with a nice amount of money and a life insurance policy. You're going nuts like the sky is falling. Joey, asked somebody living in Qatar. In the United Arab Emirates. In Israel. How are they sleeping tonight? The sky was really falling for them. Kamala, you left out somebody living in Iran. Joey, they don't count. They're the bad guys. Giselle, Joey, if you're gonna carry on like your pop's money is the only thing that's gonna carry us through to old age, then you can make the sacrifices. You can cut out your smelly cigars and have one less beer for every two that you now have. Now she's going because this is important, and I'm going too, and if you start trying anything, I swear to you you're gonna regret you ever did that. Now stop intimidating these girls, cause it's not working anyway. Everyone is shocked. Joey is speechless. Samantha runs up and hugs her mother. Kamala is really touched. Samantha, wow, Ma, thank you so much for standing up for us, the defenseless. Giselle, you're not defenseless, believe me, you're not. Tough times are when families need to stay together, not create unnecessary wars. Support each other. We already got one son in prison. We don't need to add more fuel to a fire that should never have started in the first place. Now I know, Joey, you're gonna say I'm wrong, but, Samantha, he is really upset about Josh. He's just too full of pride to admit it. So he's taking it out on you. Joey, alright, go through all our money. But don't come crying to me when it's all gone. Giselle, well, if we're gonna starve to death, it won't be because Samantha sought justice, and if we have to die anyway, let's give her something to hang on to as she goes. Samantha, wow. I can't believe you said all that. Giselle, there's a lot you can't understand. You're a teenager, so everything's black and white. When you grow up, you'll get to enjoy all the color you're missing out on when you see not everything's either or. Int. The house, Samantha's room. Late night, it is dark and quiet. The sound of a small rock against the window interrupts the quiet. It is quiet once again for a little while. Another rock sounds on the window. More stillness and motionless. Sound of Samantha's phone ringtone. It keeps ringing. Samantha instinctively moves in her sleep to grab it. She grabs here. She grabs there. The phone stops ringing. She upsets the covers. She finally grabs it and looks at it, then dials. Samantha, wow. Here's voice. Head half off side of the bed. Yeah, they stopped that, shish. Here's voice. Yawns, I meant that you never know what they'll do next. Mom was amazing. Hang on, let me come get you. She pushes herself up and rolls out of bed until she's vertical and heads toward the door. Int. The house, Samantha's room. Late night, a little later Samantha and Amanda are in bed together. Samantha, thanks for stopping by. I'm exhausted, but I love your company. Especially since we can't see each other now that the trial's on. And thanks for the buzz. Amanda, moving closer to her and planting sweet kisses on her face. Come on. Let's give each other ecstasy before the morning. I'll just leave right away. Samantha, no, don't do that. Amanda, as she keeps kissing and making sexual moves on Samantha, it's already after 3. I'm afraid to fall asleep. I'll just sleep at home and go late to school. Samantha, I thought you're not staying at home anymore. Did things quiet down? Amanda, actually, I haven't seen my mom or Abuela since the day I left with Josh. I'm staying at Bonnie's. She lent me a key. Isn't that nice of her? Come on. As she's doing all the sexual moving by herself, what's wrong? Samantha, Amanda, I really want to. But, Amanda stops her moves, trying to just hold Samantha as tenderly as possible. Which Samantha welcomes. Samantha, I want your affection. But, Amanda, I know what you're gonna say. Samantha, thanks for knowing it because it is so hard to say. Amanda, I want you so much. Physically and amorously and in every way. And I want you as my closest friend. Amanda, you feel guilty. Samantha, no, it's more than guilty. Amanda, that's a lot of I.S. Samantha, I love Kamala. What we have is so special. Perhaps the trial reminded me how special our bond is. We went through hell together. And we went through heaven together. She's not an easy person to love. She was abused as a child. I know you get that because you too were abused. But even though she's not easy sometimes to love, she definitely deserves every ounce of love I can give her. Amanda, have you told her this? Samantha, there's never the right time to. She doesn't stay so we can be alone. I mean, it seems like it would be so perfect if I could have that daytime love with her and then have this illicit, forbidden love with you. I don't know, maybe it's because of Josh too. It's like, we're just substituting each other for someone we really love who's not around. That's not real love. I mean, I love you, I really do. And I desire you sexually, I really do, I really do, I really do. She looks at Amanda, who is clearly stifled physically and unsure what to do. Samantha looks at her with the greatest affection musterable. Amanda, I understand. This is really weird. Samantha, yeah, it so is. It's like, why can't we just do it? Nobody knows we're here together. We won't hurt anybody. Amanda, maybe we'll hurt ourselves. Samantha, see? You get it. I'm so sorry, Mond. I love you so much. But what I got with Kamala is so precious. Even if we can't be together. This is so weird being totally blitzed like this and going through this. I want to hold you. Can we do that? Can we hold each other like sisters? Amanda, sure we can. They hold each other and stare into the darkness of space at the ceiling. Samantha, I think it might be Josh too. Amanda, what do you mean? Samantha, he's my brother. And I really love him. I know why you're here. Because you can't feel, hold or touch him. And I know you really want to. But what if he knew we were doing this? He's lying alone in that hard cold prison cell. Among a bunch of men who are the last thing he wants to have any relations with. All alone. Amanda, he probably plays with himself at night. They probably all do. Boy, the thought of that. That's really gross. Just think. All the prisoners in the country are now getting themselves off. Samantha, yeah, but so are a million other people. Boyfriends and girlfriends. Husbands and wives. Gay, lesbian and transgender lovers. Single people playing with themselves. That's pretty gross, but when you think about it, I guess we all have that same need. Phew, how did we even get into this? Because you wanted to. Amanda, no, because you didn't want to. They stopped talking. Samantha, hey, what if Josh is playing with himself and imagining himself with you? You better catch him. Amanda, you wanna help me out? Samantha, no. I can't be part of you and Josh having a private moment. That's really gross. Amanda, just thought I'd give it a shot for what it's worth. Samantha, you can't just play with yourself? Amanda, I am. Samantha, do you want me to go so you two can have some privacy? Amanda, can I tell you a secret? Samantha, what? I hope this is not. Amanda, maybe I shouldn't then. Samantha, well, you already started. Amanda, an incestuous threesome. Fade out.